Please. Today we're going to be doing proportions, and we'll start on those here in a minute. Right now, get your learning goals down, fill up the top of your note page. Some of you wanted to use proportions yesterday. You'll get to today, so that'll be good.
We are? I'm Danny.
Okay, that's Danny. All right, so here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, right now, to begin with, these are off your assignment, but you're going to put these in your notes.
Something fell.
Declan, you all right?
Yeah.
All right, man. We didn't catch that on video, so we caught the sound on it, I'm sure. The big thud, that was Declan falling.
You can hear my laugh in that.
All right. Hey, sure you're all right?
Yeah.
All right. You didn't hit your head or anything? Didn't hit your head or anything? All right. Okay, here we go. The first thing you need to do is we're going to talk about proportions. What are proportions? Yeah.
Okay, so it's like a special ratio.
Okay, it's special ratio. All right. Hey guys, quit playing with the crutches. What are proportions? Good. Never mind.
I mean, it's hard to explain. I can't explain it.
What is a ratio? Let's go to a ratio. Abby said ratio. Quit playing with the crutches. You guys do it later. Go ahead, Josh.
Like, if you had 6 tenths, just because I saw that there.
6/10?
Then a smaller ratio would be like 3/5.
Okay, so it's like reducing.
Yeah.
Okay, when that's a proportion. What if I had like 1/2? Can someone give another fraction that's proportional to 1/2? Go ahead, Darren. 2/4. How about another one? Declan? 4/8. Okay, everyone tell your neighbor another proportion that's proportional, or another ratio that's proportional. All right. Jared, what do you think?
I think 50/100.
50/100. Okay. Hey, all of those things are proportional. Hi. Danny. 1,000, 2,000. It's okay, we're done giving them now, but yes, all of those are proportional. Now, let me just take a chunk out of this proportion. You can tell they're proportional, just like Josh said. You can, like this reduces to that. In fact, all of these reduce to 1/2. That's one way to tell. There's another way to tell. It's called the cross product property, or cross multiplying there, which most of you know. If I multiply 2 by 2, and then 4 by 1, you get the same number. You get 4. And that works anywhere on these. So like if I took these, well, let's go with some easier ones. Let's go this route. What's 8/50s? Oh, yeah, that's 400. Whew. 8 times 50. All right. Equals 4 times 100. 400. So we know those are proportional because 400 equals 400. Okay. So when I'm looking at these and I'm trying to determine if they're proportional, really, you could do it a couple ways. You could do what Josh said. Hey, does one reduce to the other one? Does this reduce to that? Yeah. 3 goes into 6 twice. Or you could think 2 goes into 6 3 times, so you're dividing by 2. And 2 goes into 10 5 times. So if you divide by 2 or multiply by 2, whatever, you reduce. You get 3/5. The other route is to do cross products. 3 times 10 is equal to 5 times 6. Right? 30 equals 30. Everyone see that? Any questions there? Okay, I want you to try number 12. Is this proportional to that? Could it be a proportion? If so, well, if so or if not, tell how you know. Justify your answer. What'd you get? Chris says no. How many say no? Not proportional. I agree with Chris. Chris, how do you know? Cross multiplied, so you did 1 times 20 is 20. And 5 times 3 is 15. And are those equal? No, they're not equal. Ricardo? Make sure you're not talking when I look down. Okay? Or don't talk when I'm looking up either. Oh, I thought you guys were talking. I heard talking and then I saw your heads turn. That's called reasoning on my, it was like reasoning, someone was talking back there. Hey, 20 does not equal 15, and that's how you can justify your answer right there. All right? Good day, Brock. How art thou? Thou art good? Okay. Chris didn't know what to do back there without you. Now he does. All right. Okay. Solve using cross products. Well, cross products really is just multiplying like we did up here. Now we're going to solve. Notice now we have a variable in here. So I want everyone to cross multiply and come up with an equation for number 16, please.
Daniel was talking to me.
That's
Danny, I got equals 18 because
okay. Let's see. Cross multiply. Tori, what'd you get?
I did 16 times 9.
What'd you get?
divided by 8. I don't have a calculator.
Dude. Oh, you can borrow one. Hey guys, I'm really still missing one of my calculators. As of tomorrow, we can't use my calculators anymore until I get them back. But today you can. Danny. 144. How many got 144 for 16 times 9? How many can do that in their head? Yeah, what's 16 times 10? 160. And if you have 10 16s and you only want 9 16s, how many 16s do you subtract? 1. So you subtract 16 from 160 to get 144. That's how you do it in your head. Okay? Or you could do the distributive. You say 9 times 10 is 90, and 9 times 6 is 54, and 90 and 54 is 144. That's a little easier. That's distributive property, right? That's when you'd use. Okay? Now, 10 plus 6. Okay? That's distributive property, but we're not going to worry about that. I'm trying to show you mental math at the same time. 8 times A is? 8A. Now, Tori said I cross multiplied and then divided, or I multiplied 9 by 16 divided by 8. Is she right? Do we divide by 8 next? Yeah. That's how we solve this, right? Divide each side by 8. We get 1A is 18. So a lot of you have heard that before. Cross multiply and divide. Cross multiply and divide. Cross multiply and divide. Well, show your work still. Cross multiply, write out your equation, and then divide. Show your work. Okay? All right. Any questions there? All right. Let's try this one here. All right. How many got a decimal? How many got a fraction? 4 times 6 is 24. 10 times G is 10. G. Okay? Divide both sides by 10. You get G equals 24 tenths. Some of you will go, nuh-uh, that's 12 fifths. Why? Because 12 fifths and 24 tenths are? Equivalent. They are?
Equal.
They are who said proportional? Remind me, I owe you a dum-dum. They are proportional. Chris is stepping it up today, man. You guys better bring up your game. Okay? They are proportional. 24 divided by 10 is also a terminating decimal, so I'd accept 2.4 because it terminates. Only because it terminates. If it doesn't terminate, if it goes on forever, you have to keep writing forever, then we don't use those. We leave it in fraction form then. So either this answer or that answer. Hi.
How do you put fraction on a fraction?
What do you mean a fraction on a fraction?
Like if you were to put the 2.4 back into the equation.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Like if you're checking to see if it worked?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd put the 2.4 in then. So 2.4 divided by 4 and 6 divided by 10.
No, like what if it went on and on? Like if it was 2.4, 5, 7, 8, 12.
Then we'd have to go into how to check that, and I'm not going to work on that right now with you. Okay? Yes?
I put 2.4 back into the equation.
Yeah?
And divided by 4 and it said 3 fifths.
It said 3/5? Yeah. What's 6 tenths?
That's 6.
Which is 3/5? Yeah. So they're equal, right? So we're good.
So you could say 3 fifths.
No, you can't say 3/5, dude. G cannot be 3/5. Both these fractions have a value of 3/5, but G doesn't. G has a value of 2.4 or 2 4/10. Okay. Any questions there? All right. I want everyone to take a look at your assignment, please. Okay. I must not have emphasized this well enough. right here, you guys, when you're justifying your answer, so this is my fault. When you're justifying your answer, our justification on, say, like 11 and 12, these problems, is this a proportion? Yes, it is, because 30 equals 30. That's my justification. Is this a proportion? Nope, because 20 does not equal 15. Okay, that's a good justification. That's a mathematical justification. Okay, so that would work for justifying. Go ahead and copy on your note page. I want you to go ahead and copy down these these 3 problems. They're on your assignment there, so if they're a little tougher to see, you can reference your assignment. Okay, there are percent problems. There are 3 different types of percent problems we'll see. Give yourself a little space between each set, so give yourself some lines to write on. All right. So it sounds like Jacob back there, he's seen this before. So maybe some of you have seen these before. There are 3 different types of percent problems. Let me zoom back out here real quick. The first one says find 40% of 125, and then 24 is 30% of what number, and what percent of 60 is 25. Those are the 3 different types you'll see. What we use is the same formula for all of them. Okay, so I know there are other ways to solve these. I know that. I just also know that it's much easier if you can use the same method on all of them. So what we're going to do is we're going to use a proportion. Or is over of equals percent over 100. And our is represents our part. Our of represents our whole. Just like in terms of percentages, if we were to talk about percentages, like 100% is the whole thing. So when they're saying, well, you have, like in this one, they say you have 40%, that's a part of 100. Okay? So what you're doing is you're setting up a part-whole relationship on this side because you have a part-whole relationship on this side. You're setting up that proportion. That's why we can use that. So those of you who know how to use this, great. You can be able to help a little more around you, and it should be a lot easier for you. Those of you who don't, this right here, this find. Okay, Jared, I need you to put the book away, dude. I appreciate that you like to read, but I want you to do math. Okay, this find right here, I'm going to replace it with the words what is. Okay, what is 40% of 125? Okay, well, I know that some of you go, well, I could just go like 0.4 times 125 in my calculator, or 125 times 40 at the percent key, and I get my answer. That's good, except for you can't use that on all these. You can't do that type of thing on all of these. So we're going to use our proportion. So in this one, notice the word of is right next to the 125. That's our whole. The what is, if we don't know what it is, what do we put? X. So if we're saying is over of equals percent over 100, okay, well our is X. Our of is 125. Our percent is the thing with the percent. Okay, we don't have to put the percent sign. Okay, but we have is, we have of, we have percent, we have 100. Now you have a proportion. And the way we solve proportions, Trevor, how do we do that? Good. So a lot of you go, yeah, you multiply these two, divide by that. Good. I want you to write the equations. 100x equals 125 times 40, or we know that as, hopefully, 5,000. So 1x is 50. Yeah, we divide both sides by 100, right? Zeros cancel when you divide by 100. We're left with 50. X equals 50. So when you're done, plug it back in. Think about it. What is 40% of 125? Well, 40% is close to a half, right? What's about half of 125? It's almost 60, right? Half of 120 is 60. Well, 40% is a little less than half, so our answer better be a little less than 60. 50 sounds at least in the ballpark. If you would have got 500, maybe you messed up on your canceling. Dude, you'd be like, well, that can't be because that's bigger than that. It's not a part of that. Okay, here's what I want you to do. Number 30, I want you to write in the is over of equals percent over 100 form. Okay? If you haven't done so already. I'll be walking. All right, let's check it out. It says what percent? So if we don't know the percent, what is that? That's our x. So our percent goes here. Over our 100. Our is here and our of is here. What percent of 60, so that's our total, is 25? So notice it's very similar to this one over here, except the variable's moved. You still solve it the same way, though. Okay. Any questions on how we set that up? How many got it? Okay. I know you can solve this, so just make sure, please, that you're writing out the equation. I realize that a lot of you just like going, oh, multiply those two and divide by that. I want you to write out the equation for me. Okay? All right. Yes. Good for her, man. All right, so you want to get to x equals here. Okay, and this one's a percent, right? So make sure you put your percent symbol. Okay, I want everyone to set up 31. Make sure you're setting it up correctly. Before I put that one up, I had a request to finish this one. So divide by 60, divide by 60, zeros cancel, 250 over 6, which is 250 divided by 6 is like 125 over 3, which is going to give me this big long decimal. And since we're dealing with percents, I'll let you round your decimal to the 10th here. Okay?
How come when I put it in the calculator it equals 41.67?
Because 125 divided by 3 is 41.67. Maybe. Okay. Hey guys, really, and that would be 2/3. So really, when you guys are using calculators, hey, I'm okay with you using them, but you better be able to understand what you're doing on them, right? Like this just means division. That's the only way you get decimals. And 0.66666666667. That is your calculator rounding, man. You need to know 0.666666667 is 2/3. And you better be able to change that to a fraction because that's what we want, man. Like that. Okay? I'd prefer you don't round it to 0.7. All right? Be nice if you had that, but I guess on the percent ones I could let you. Okay, let's make sure we're good here. 24 is, so we have our is, we have our of, we have our percent, we have our 100. Kara, what'd you get for is?
I got 24 over x equals 30 over
Oh, you gave us it everything. Okay. All right. You're right. 24 over x equals 30 over 100. Good. Okay? Any questions on the setups?
No.
Huh?
All in the video, all in the video.
Okay. Hey, go ahead and spend a couple minutes working on 26, 28, and 30 on your assignment. We'll finish up with our last for 26. Okay? Triangle ABC is similar to XYZ. First, I want you to draw a triangle ABC. You can make it whatever type of triangle you want. You can make it look like this if you want. You can make your own. But I know that triangle is going to be similar to this triangle. So I have a bigger triangle and a smaller triangle. I have like the mini-me triangle and a bigger triangle. Which one's bigger? ABC or XYZ?
A.
Talk with your neighbor about which one's going to be bigger. How do we know? Didn't even vote. ABC. XYZ. Which one's bigger? XYZ? Why is XYZ bigger? Josh?
Because they're proportional and YZ is longer than BC.
Note, okay, when you guys get to geometry, you'll talk about this a lot. This right here, this YZ and this BC, those sides are called corresponding sides. That means when you set up the triangles, if this was YZ, this would be BC. Okay? They're corresponding. Now, what they're saying here is BC is 7 and YZ is 14. That means YZ is the bigger one. Yeah.
Wait, isn't each side have a letter like A, B, and C?
No, each angle has a letter A, B, and C.
So then,
So like if we called this A, I'm just labeling them randomly, ABC. I'm going to call this, since ABC, I went
yeah.
counterclockwise there. I'm going to go X, Y, and Z. Okay? Yeah?
Wait, so when we're doing the homework, are we doing the example exercise beside?
Doing the mixed. But that's not part of this problem, right? All right. That's a random question. I call that random. Okay? So ABC is similar to XYZ. The length of AB is 10. So that means from A to B, we have this length of 10. So know how to draw these pictures out. Length of B to C is 7. Length of X to Y is
Wait, on our paper it says the
X.
length to BC is 16.
length of XY is what?
X.
X. How about we use something other than X, Y, Z, or ABC? M? Okay. M. Length of YZ is 14. Okay. We're setting up a proportion. Notice these two sides, if these are similar things, they correspond. So Logan, if I'm comparing these two in a ratio, what would I say?
14 to 7.
14 is to 7. 14 is to 7 as, that's another way as we write this. 14 is to 7 as, what is to what? Anderson. You sure it's 10 is to M? This is to that as, notice since we went big to small, we have to go big to small. M is to 10. Hey, so this is to that as this is to that. Okay? So you had it backwards. We compare big sides to small sides. Okay? Declan, are you going to tell me this isn't the same problem on your assignment again? All right. What's up? Okay. That gives me 7M equals 140. So what's M? 7 goes into 14 how many times? 2 with a 0, 20. M equals 20.
That's so cool.
It is pretty cool.
I've never used that method.
Okay. Hey, any questions there? Guys, kind of rushed through that last one because it's almost time to go. Declan, did you figure out which side we're on?
Yeah.
All right. Very good.